No phones, no watches, no clocks on the wall. For most of human history, nobody had any device that could tell them the exact time. And yet, ancient humans woke up, ate, worked, hunted, gathered, and slept on remarkably consistent schedules. They showed up for meetings with other tribes. They knew when to plant crops and when to harvest them, sometimes down to the week. So here's the question worth sitting with. If nobody had a clock, how did entire civilizations manage to stay on time? Before humans built any kind of timekeeping device, they had one built directly into their biology. It's called the circadian rhythm, an internal cycle, roughly 24 hours long, that regulates when you feel awake, when you feel tired, and even when your body temperature naturally rises and falls. Every human alive today still has this system running in the background, whether you check a clock or not. For early humans, this internal rhythm was reinforced constantly by sunlight. Wake with the light, wind down with the dark. No alarm required. The sun did the job. Daily time was one problem. Longer stretches of time, weeks, months, seasons, needed a bigger tool. And ancient humans found one right above their heads. The moon changes shape in a cycle of about 29.5 days, and that pattern is so consistent and so visible that many ancient cultures built entire calendars around it. Some of the oldest known human-made structures, including markings found on bones over 20,000 years old, appear to track lunar phases, long before writing existed. The sun did similar work on a longer scale. Its path across the sky shifts slightly every day, and ancient people noticed. Structures like Stonehenge in England line up precisely with the sunrise on the summer solstice, meaning the people who built it, roughly 5,000 years ago, understood the sun's yearly cycle well enough to construct a massive stone calendar around it. For tracking time within a single day, ancient civilizations turned to something incredibly simple: shadows. The Egyptians developed some of the earliest known sundials, using the position and length of a shadow to divide daylight into segments. As the sun moved across the sky, the shadow moved with it, predictably enough that people could estimate the hour just by glancing down. It wasn't perfect. Shadows behave differently depending on the season, and they're useless at night or on a cloudy day. But for thousands of years, it was accurate enough to run entire societies. Eventually, humans wanted something that worked even when the sun didn't cooperate. So they built devices that didn't rely on sunlight at all. The water clock, first developed in ancient Egypt and later refined in Greece and China, worked by tracking water as it dripped at a steady rate from one container into another. Markings on the container showed roughly how much time had passed. This was a genuinely clever leap, the first time humans created an artificial mechanical way to measure time that didn't depend on the sky at all. Water clocks could be used indoors, at night, and even in cloudy weather, making them useful in ways sundials never could be. Here's something that might be hard to imagine today. For most of history, there was no single, agreed-upon, correct time. Every town essentially ran on its own local time, based on when the sun reached its highest point directly above them. Noon in one city could be several minutes different from noon in a city just down the road. Nobody minded because nobody needed their schedules to match up with people hundreds of miles away. That only became a real problem once trains showed up. Suddenly, people needed schedules that worked across entire countries, not just single towns. That pressure is actually what led to the creation of standardized time zones in the 1800s, a surprisingly recent invention, all things considered. So the next time you glance at your phone to check the time without even thinking about it, it's worth remembering that for the overwhelming majority of human history, time wasn't something you looked at. It was something you felt in the light of the sun, the shape of a shadow, the phase of the moon. Your body still runs on that same ancient rhythm today, quietly ticking along in the background, whether you're paying attention to it or not. Ancient humans never needed a clock to know where they stood in the day. In a strange way, Maybe they understood something about time that we've slowly forgotten how to feel.